Hello everybody, welcome back to Cooking with Brenda. This is really my first show since I've had my surgery. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to fool anybody, but we had done a few shows so that we could have some shows to put on there while I was getting well. And I am getting well, and I'm still healing. I want to tell everybody thank you so much for the prayers and the blessings and for staying in there with me. The support, I really appreciate it more than you'll ever know. And I've got a lot of things coming in the future I think you'll like. David doesn't think this is a good show for tonight, but I'm going to make some fried cabbage. This is something my mother made when we were growing up. Look, I'm 59 years old. That's a lot of years ago. And it's been a long time since I've made it, but it'll be good. And David likes cabbage. I like cabbage, so it should be good. So here we go. We're going to get down to it. I've got some things that requests that people wants me to make. I'm going to do those. But tonight we're having fried cabbage. It's pretty simple. I put a little bit of butter in the pan and melted it so that would be ready. I've got everything ready to just throw in here, okay? So I got the skillet heated up. And the first thing I'm going to do, the cabbage, I've done washed it, chopped it and everything. So it's chopped up, it's small enough, and we'll pour it in the skillet. And you know, you can use different things in here. My mama used, you know, she'd fry fat back. They call it fat back. I worked in the meat department for a long time, so they call it stripling. There's fat back. You got country ham. You got all kinds of stuff you can use. And I'm going to use country ham. I'm going to let that cook up a little bit because what I done with this country ham is I've rinsed it real good. I've washed it real good. And then I put it in a small pot of water and I boiled it. And I don't need this because I got one out. But I boiled it to get some of that salt out of it. I don't want my husband to die with cholesterol or heart attack, or me either. But anyway, I'm going to just try to mix this up. You have to keep an eye on it and don't turn it up too high. Get your butter and stuff mixed up in there with it. I put about a tablespoon, you know, I don't want to make too much for just two of us. Some things are not good heated over. I was going to show you, I meant to show you how to do the cabbage, and I should have. Now let me see if I can. Let me see if I can. Because I needed to show you that, and I wasn't thinking about that. You know, you got a core, or whatever you want to call it, you got it here. You see that? You got that there? And what you would want to do, let me find my right side. Now you know, let this cook. I'm going to turn it down to about medium and let it cook. I've got the butter all mixed up on it. You don't want it to scorch. You have to watch it, you know, real close. You have to watch it. You don't want brown fried cabbage. Now, you can fry the strip of lean, and that's like a piece of fat back with a strip of lean meat in it, like country ham or something like that. And I want the flavor from that country ham to get in here. I'm going to just go ahead and put my other ingredients in. You need to let it cook about 7 or 8 minutes like this. And Make sure that it don't scorch. So I got that down, so I'm going to show you. I'm going to cut just a little piece off here from that. I don't need too much, because I can always add it in there. Now you see, you want to cut that off. You don't want that in there. That's not good. And you just wash your fingers, but guide it with your fingers. And that's how I done it. You just cut it. You usually cut it down like this from the core, and then cut the core off. It's no good. Kind of bitter. And cut this up. That didn't do too good. Sometimes David will cut him a piece off and he don't cut it right, and it makes it a little complicated. It's okay. I don't mind. I'm glad he likes it. It's good for him.
My grandpa was a cabbage farmer. We used to eat it raw all the time.
It's good raw. Wash it off and put your little salt on it. It's good like that, but gotta watch the salt a little bit there. Now I'll just go ahead and I've done washed his whole head, so I just didn't need it all. Plus I put some of it in his lunch. Now see, that's all you gotta do. And I wanted to show you how to do that, and I'm sorry I didn't do it in the beginning. It's starting to get soft already, so I hope that'll be okay. It'll get soft. The rest of it's good and hot, so it'll soften. Now, there's been some people talk to me about the pots on our page. And David's pots are called Salad Master. Mine's called something else, but they're from the same company.
Well, those were Mom's. They bought them. She bought them back in the 60s.
Yeah, but back then, this is probably 2 or 3 layers of metal. Mine's 7. And they change the name up a little bit as they go. But this one may not get as hot as mine does, but it still cooks good. Cooks up real good.
Well, that old pot's been around, frying pan's been around since I was a little kid.
You can order handles and stuff if they break. They got a lifetime warranty, so you can, matter of fact, David ordered his handle, his small pot he had to order a handle for. I'm going to go ahead and put this country ham in here. And what I done is, like I said, I washed it real good. And got that old gooey filling off of it. And then I put it in the pot and let it boil some of that salt out of it, because it's really salty. And you don't really want your meal too salty. I don't anyway. You can add some better salt in the end if it's not enough. You boiled it all out, which is good. It's better to boil most of that out, really, and then add a little more salt in the end if you need it. That's better. Now, some people don't. This is what some people would do. But I'm going to add a little bit of Valdalia onion. I'm going to add a little bit of red bell pepper. A little color here. And I know some of you see me cut on that cabinet top, but that cabinet top is the one that's a cutting board. It never cuts. I cut my stuff on it all the time. It never puts a crack in it or anything. Never does. Let's see how pretty that is. It's pretty. It's already smelling good. And I want to thank everybody for hanging in there with us. I can't show you my knee because I have to wear these ugly hose. I'm going to get me some that looks more natural, I hope. I don't like this color. They look like grandma, and I know I'm almost 60, but I don't feel like a grandma in my mind. Yeah, my mama used to make this all the time growing up, but she fried the fat back and put a little of that grease in here, and then Daddy eats the fat back. And let me tell you, 81 years old, coming up on 82. He's very healthy. We've always tried to get him not to eat that fat back, but he eats it and he's very healthy. He's got one stent in his heart. He works. Still goes out and works a little bit every day. So, you know, the doctor wants him to because he said it was good for him, so he does. Mommy gets sick of him. She tells him, go on out there and go to work and do something. So he goes out, he gets paid. He works with my sister's boyfriend's son at the lime company. Let me just go ahead and wrap that back up.
Drives a big dump truck.
Yeah, he drives a dump truck. It's got air conditioner and stuff in it, so he's really got it made and he gets paid pretty good. But I would be working on that eye right there, but David Hall has not, it needs to be cleaned and stuff, and I don't like to mess with it.
That's the one that caught on fire that night.
Yeah, and you need to put some new clean foil, some thick foil down in there.
This old Maytag's been a good one. It's time to go and throw it away.
Well, it still works good.
Get you a new one.
Still works good. I'm not complaining about it, but I like to use all the eyes. And that one right there works okay, but that one, it needs some new lining, new foil lining, and it's getting pretty soft now, the cabbage is. Let's give it a few more minutes here and let the peppers and stuff. I'm going to try to taste a little bit of that. I'll try. Now, the reason I haven't put salt and pepper in it yet, I probably won't put pepper because me and David both really don't like pepper in our food. And David don't like it, and I can live without it. I don't care one way or another. But I don't put pepper in my food. I might put it in my potato soup, but I got some potato soup coming up for you. It's crock pot potato soup, but I'm not going to cook it in a crock pot. I'm going to cook it on top of the stove. It still tastes the same. My neighbor made it one time, and I'm like, well, huh. And so she let me try hers where she had made it in a crock pot, and I'm like, well, I'll make that. I make it 2 different ways. But that crock pot way's got different ingredients, but it still tastes the same as hers did in a crock pot. Well, we're going to check it and see. It should almost be done. And listen, now, I always use a lot of seasonings. This time I haven't because the country ham, the peppers, and the onions give it the seasoning it needs. Now, I boiled the bad salt out of that country ham, and I've tasted it a little bit. It does need some salt, but it'll be better salt. In my opinion, it needs just better salt. And I started it with just a little bit of butter, that's all, and I've watched it. It's like a tablespoon of butter, that's all. And I've stirred it, it's coated real good. I poured all the fat that I could off of the country ham. I don't want that stuff in there because I hate fat meat in my mouth. And again, I just want to thank all of y'all for all the blessings. I've got people from Australia, from Canada, from everywhere praying for me, and I want to thank you. And I will tell you this, my leg is not healed right. I am walking around everywhere, but it's still trying to throw me. I don't know why. I'm exercising it, and if I can get by without going under the knife, I'm going to. I think I'm going to. I don't want to go through this again. And this knee did not heal like the one did in 2014. And I don't know why. I just don't know why. But I don't know. It took him about an hour and a half to get that one out and put a new one in. So that's probably why right there. I think this is pretty done. And before we close, and before I forget, this is July the 3rd. And I want to wish everybody a happy Independence Day. And I hope everybody will stay safe. This is my taster for tonight. Everybody please stay safe so you can come back and watch some more shows, okay? Okay, we're going to let the taster have him a taste. It's going to be kind of hot here, David.
What do you serve it with?
Well, you can serve this when I was growing up, and my dad had pinto beans every day of his life, and guess what? He still does. He still does, and it's unbelievable, but he still does. And boiled potatoes with butter. It leaves a little juice in them. Put butter in it. Macaroni. But with this, we used cornbread, pinto beans, and boiled potatoes with butter, and our cabbage. And that's what we have. Now David's going to try this and see, but I think first of all he's going to taste it, but I'm going to tell you one more thing I have to do. It's hot, honey, be careful. I know it already needs salt because I've already tried it. You
That's
don't
good.
need too much, you know, give it a little dashing across there and then stir it in. Should be plenty right there. I probably added about 1/4 of a teaspoon maybe. I should have measured it, but you know how that is. You cook as long as I have. That was about 1/4 of a teaspoon. Now, David, try again. Did it burn you? I love all of our people, and I'm so happy y'all stayed with us. But I'm back to cooking, and we got a whole lot of good things coming up, hopefully, and I got a whole list of stuff wrote down to be cooking. More salt or good enough? Well, I'm getting a thumbs up, so it must be done, and must be good, so get it over here in the light, everybody, and look, it's got a beautiful color, the red peppers, and you can't see the onions, of course. They're purple, but you should be able to see them, but I don't see them. I'll put a good bit in there, but then you got the red bell peppers. Not too strong of a taste, but a good taste. And I want to thank everybody for watching Cooking with Brenda and David. So we'll see you soon. Bye.